purpose of this webinar is to help you improve your e-commerce SEO skills from beginner to advanced. The content from this presentation complements my recent blog post, the complete how-to guide for e-commerce SEO. In this presentation, I will cover the 3 levels of SEO: level 1, foundational; level 2, intermediate; and level 3, advanced, so that you can confidently make informed decisions when it comes to growing your brand's awareness and online sales. Before I begin, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Glynis, and I'm the founder of Chase Your Dreams Consulting, which specializes in SEO services for fashion e-commerce companies. I've been featured on the front page of the business sections of the Vancouver Sun, National Post, the Globe and Mail, and I've been interviewed on CBC Radio. I have over 20 years of apparel industry experience, and I love helping fashion and e-commerce brands increase their organic traffic, rank higher in search engines, and make more sales online. Like, don't we all want that? I think so. Before starting this consulting practice, I worked for big brands such as Club Monaco and Reebok, and I also ran my own clothing design company for over 10 years. And as a former clothing brand owner, I understand the challenges of growing and sustaining a fashion business. Well, unlike other SEO agencies who may only focus on general SEO best practices, I take the time to really understand your business goals, your ideal customers, and your brand's core values in order to create a tailored SEO strategy for you. I do SEO for fashion brands, but my main goal is to really help you and your business be successful and sustainable in the long run. So what is SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization, which is the practice of increasing the quantity and quality of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. Did you know that 93% of online experiences start with search engines? Google answers more than 88,000 searches worldwide per second. In other words, every second that your website is not indexed in Google, you're missing out on hundreds, if not thousands, of opportunities in which someone might have accessed your website, viewed your content, and bought your products or services. By optimizing your website for search engines, not only can you improve its ranking and be found by your potential customers, but you also create a better user experience, right? So that's the key to SEO. You're optimizing for your visitors, not just for search engines. So why is SEO important for fashion e-commerce brands? Well, appearing on the first page within the top 10 results is good because 95% of people never actually make it past the first page, right? Can you relate, right? How often do you actually click to page 2 or 3? Did you know that search traffic has the highest lead to customer conversion rate of all channels? So SEO for e-commerce is not only about generating more traffic to your site, it's about naturally attracting the right people to your site, right? Those people who are searching for exactly what you offer without having to use paid ads. And unlike paid ads where the traffic stops when spending stops, SEO is a long-term strategy that can lead to sustained growth. So why does website traffic matter for e-commerce online businesses? Well, in any online business, any conversion starts with a visit to their website. And this graph that was put together by SEMrush shows that in the US, the online fashion stores generated almost half of their traffic with direct visits. That means that the user knew exactly the domain to type into the search bar. And search traffic, which is organic traffic, which is what we do with SEO, ranks second in the list of traffic sources. So the predominance of branded organic traffic is another indicator of brand awareness, while success with non-branded visits can read as a sign of a strong SEO strategy. Okay, so it's important to understand this and know where your sources of traffic is coming from and all the various sources of the traffic channels, okay? And knowing where you are currently, where you're getting your traffic from, and how much of that traffic is actually bringing you like visitors to the site, and which traffic channels are working, are really important metrics to understand for your business. So let's talk about how Google actually works, okay? So Google aims to deliver relevant search results as part of its bid to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. So Google has automated software that are called search bots or spiders, and these bots visit web pages in a process that's called crawling the web. Okay, then they add these pages that they crawl to Google's index. So think of it as a library, which is a huge catalog of trillions of web pages. So when people search, Google shows the most relevant results from that catalog. When you're doing SEO, you are helping Google's spiders to crawl and understand your content. You're also telling Google your content is relevant to certain queries, so your web pages show up in the right search results. Okay, so Google's job is really to bring up the most relevant answer to the question that the person is asking. Okay, they want to find the best answer to a person's question. So when a search query is typed into a search engine, right, the search engine will look in its index even while it's being entered for the most relevant information and displays the results in the search engine results page or SERP. And these results are sorted by relevance. Okay, the search engines have one goal, as I mentioned earlier, which is to give the searchers the exact information they are searching for. So here's an example of a Google search engine page, right? We're all familiar with. And so when you type in a keyword, so you type into a keyword like, for example, here, organic cotton t-shirts, it brings up several results. And so at the top, you'll see some sponsored results. And sponsored means paid ads or paid advertisements, like in form of Google Ads. So those always show up first. But below it, you'll see the first result there, which is the good tea. That's organic search, okay? And that's the first result that comes up for this search term, organic cotton t-shirts. Okay, so now you see how important it is to be able to rank for the relevant keywords that your business is looking to rank for, right? To show up at the top, because you see the top result here, right? That's where most of the clicks happen. Okay, and so I won't spend too much time on this particular diagram because I'm going to go more in depth with this later on. But I've created this diagram to show you what SEO is, because I know we're, as designers, we're more creative people, right? Like we're more visual. We like to see things and it visually. And with SEO, it's kind of like, oh my God, like a lot of people kind of go, oh, that's so technical. Like, I don't understand it. Like, what does this all mean? But I created this diagram. Basically, technical SEO is made up of three things. There's technical SEO, on-page SEO, and off-page SEO. Okay. Technical SEO refers to the process of optimizing your website for the crawling and indexing phase. On-page SEO is a practice of optimizing individual web pages in order to rank higher on SERPs. And off-page SEO refers to actions that are taken outside of your own website to impact your rankings within SERPs. Okay, I'm going to go deeper into what technical SEO and on-page SEO, what all of these mean later in this presentation, so you will be able to understand it better. E-commerce SEO encompasses many interrelated parts, and to complicate things further, every company needs its own tailored strategy to tackle SEO, depending on your unique business goals and the current status of your website, okay? So, however, is good news. There are a set of universal SEO best practices that apply to all e-commerce businesses. So the first step to dealing with your SEO is to understand it, right? Which is why you're here today. So you get a better understanding of SEO. Okay, so my whole goal really is to take the mystery out of SEO so that you really understand it, because I think it's important for all e-commerce business owners to really understand what SEO is and how it works. Even if you don't intend to do it yourself, I think it's really important for you to at least understand the basics, understand what it is and how it works, so you're able to know whether or not your SEO efforts are paying off. So whether you decide to do your SEO in-house or enlist the help of SEO experts to take care of the job, or maybe a combination of both, right? You need to start to have a basic understanding of how SEO works. And so once you know about the components of this marketing channel and how it fits into your overall marketing strategy, then you're better able to structure your website and create content that will drive more visibility and sales. I find that the best way to explain SEO is to break it down into 3 levels: foundational, intermediate, and advanced. Okay, so the SEO initiatives involved in each higher level builds on the previous level. So level 1 is foundational SEO, level 2 is intermediate SEO, and level 3 is advanced SEO. And in today's presentation, I'll mostly focus on level 1, foundational SEO. Okay, so it's no matter where you are, if you really feel that it's important to understand the basics, right? And make sure that your foundation is all properly in place before you go and do anything else and start building on it. So your goal in level 1 is to get in the game of SEO. So if you want to start getting your pages to rank for relevant keywords and be discovered by your target audience on search engines such as Google, so how do you know if your website is at level 1? Well, if you have done little to no SEO for your site, or if you're struggling with low organic traffic and visibility, then it's likely you're at level 1. And this means that your pages aren't ranking well for keywords that matter, or they're maybe not ranking at all. So there's a little infographic that I created here that shows you what level 1 e-commerce website challenges are, right? So that could be a lack of organic traffic, maybe low brand awareness, and low rankings in search results. So if that is you, then you have come to the right place. Before you get started on your SEO journey, you gotta make sure that you do several things, okay? This is really important. And that's to make sure that you set up your Google Analytics and Google Search Console. So Google Analytics tells you how much traffic you are getting to your website, where it's coming from, and how long people are staying on your site. Google Search Console tells you which keywords people are typing in to find you and which pages they are landing on. Okay? Can I see a show of hands of people who have their Google Analytics and Google Search Console set up? Have you done this yet? If not, I really encourage you to set this up today. It's your first step. Yes, Angela, Alyssa, awesome. That's great. And so after you have those set up, what you want to do is that you make sure that you submitted a site map to Google Search Console and Bing. That triggers the the search engines to start crawling, indexing your site, and then you'll be able to get really a lot of data from that. You can get so much insight from those two tools. So together, Google Analytics and Google Search Console, they form the backbone of your SEO monitoring. So they help you keep track of your progress and make informed decisions to get the most return on your SEO investment. Okay, so those are two very important tools that we use for monitoring your performance on your websites. And the other thing you want to do is to conduct an SEO website audit. Okay. And so regardless of which level your website is currently in, your first step in your SEO journey is to conduct a full site website audit. And why is this important? Why is it important to take the time to audit your site? Well, there could be, technical SEO issues that you may not see that could be potentially, holding your site back your site, and you could be negatively impacting your rankings and overall visibility and conversions. Also note that you have to have a live site in order to be able to run the audit properly. And like I like to compare it to doing an audit is like looking under the hood of a car to determine whether or not your car is drivable for the long term, right? So a site audit acts as a health check, uncovering what's working and what needs improvement. A full site audit report will provide you with a comprehensive overview, including technical SEO check and website health score, and also identifies a number of issues that are categorized by severity, right? Such as errors, warnings, and notices. And that way you're able to understand, which things you need to prioritize and which issues that you need to have, which issues you need to fix first. And so here I have a screenshot of a site audit I did. And this shows you, this was done with a tool that I use. It's called SEMrush. And let me just kind of walk you through it quickly, but it shows you the website's health. Okay, so this one is showing you that it's 81%. So this is a brand new site that I was working on. I just started working on with the client, and so it's like you could tell okay, what's going on with the site, right? You tell what the health score is, and then it tells you the number of crawl pages on the website. It tells you the errors, warnings, and notices, right? And so errors are the ones that are top priority and which you want to look into and fix first. So they are the ones in red, and that's why it also lists out the top issues. So in this case, they have duplicate content on 31 pages and duplicate title tags, 87 issues with duplicate title tags. And then there's issues with low text to HTML ratio and missing, and then there's 206 pages that are missing meta descriptions, right? So this gives you a diagnosis of what is going on with your site, and now, okay, what do I need to address? What do I need to fix first? Right? So what we do when we get started is once we start getting into the keyword research part, we can then work on the on-page SEO, writing title tags and meta descriptions a lot of times, because each one needs to be unique. Okay, otherwise, if not, it triggers this error. So your title tags and meta descriptions need to be unique. So that helps search engines, because if you have duplicates, they're not sure which page they should be ranking, right? And so that could cause some duplication errors. And so we want to make sure that those are taken care of. So we go through it and we will write all your title tags, meta descriptions, and then that usually will take care of these issues. Usually after we're done going through a client site, we're usually able to bring up their site health to over 90%. This also tells you what, if your website's crawlable and indexable, tells you like if your site is HTTPS secure, and if your site is properly linked internally. So it really gives you a lot of insight. Okay, some people ask a question about Google Analytics. I don't understand it too well. Please share the link of Google Analytics. Yeah, I can share that link after the presentation of how to sign up for an account. But good question. Passion brands, like most of us, we use these keywords like comfortable, stylish, etc. How do we use unique keywords? Won't many of the ultimately have the same keywords? Well, I'm going to get to that point actually, Angela, when I talk about keywords, and because there's different types of keywords. So there's short tail and long tail keywords. So you can take broad match keywords, but you can also take more specific keywords. So there's a way to do that. So let's talk about technical SEO. So after that, you've identified and prioritize the issues in your site audit, you'll need to tackle your technical SEO. Okay. And technical SEO focuses on optimizing the back end of your website to ensure it can be effectively crawled and indexed by search engines like Google and Bing. It also addresses critical errors, such as any errors that need to be fixed, broken URLs and redirects. It also audits your load speed, you check for your toxic backlinks and ensuring that your site is mobile friendly. So these are all the things that take place for technical SEO. And it's usually the first thing that I do when I start to work on a client site is that I do the audit, and then I go and check for any issues with the site, because, if your site's not crawlable and indexable, then there's really no point in doing any SEO, right? So you got to take care of these technical issues first. And it's really surprising how often pages aren't being properly crawled and indexed, even when everything seems to be running smoothly. So if search engines can't crawl your site, then it's as if you are pretty much invisible online. So by addressing these technical issues, this is the foundation for all other SEO efforts. And once these problems have been resolved, then your site will be in a stronger position to implement these higher levels of SEO strategies and be able to effectively compete in search rankings. Okay, so very important. Okay, so now let's talk about level 1, which was foundational SEO. And level 1 SEO best practices, that includes keyword research, keyword mapping, basic on-page SEO, and image SEO. Okay, so earlier when I started, for those who may be joining us late, I had written a blog article on the complete how-to guide for e-commerce SEO, and a lot of the information, if you want to dive deeper into this after this presentation, you can go and check out that, and I'm just going to put that link again here in the chat for you. It is your complete guide, basically, and it complements everything that we are talking about here today. And so, like I said, it's important to start with the foundations and then build upon it, right? And build each level as you grow, but making sure that you have this solid foundation. Okay, so with that being said, let's talk about these 4 important SEO best practices at foundational level, level 1. Okay. And so this is where I'm going to talk about keyword research. Okay. And so keyword research is where you find the relevant keywords for your product listings. And it's the process of discovering words and phrases that people use in search engines with the ultimate goal of optimizing content around those terms and ranking for those terms in search engines. And keyword research impacts every other SEO task that you perform, including finding content topics, on-page SEO, and outreach and promotion. That's why keyword research is usually the first step of any SEO campaign. So if you think about it this way, keywords are like a compass for your SEO campaigns. They tell you where to go and whether or not you're making progress. And another tip when you're conducting keyword research is to focus on long tail keywords. Okay, so here is, okay, hopefully this helps answer, Angela, your question earlier about like, oh, say your business has, a lot of very similar keywords, right? So how are you supposed to make them unique and different? Well, you can do that through coming up with like relevant keywords, like short tail keywords, which are more general, and long tail keywords, which are more specific. Okay, so long tail keywords are keywords that contain 3 or more words. These keywords are more specific, so they attract leads looking for your products. So for example, a keyword like women's black ankle boots will drive more relevant traffic than someone, say, who's searching for boots. With a keyword like boots, it's difficult to know what the person wants to find. A specific keyword like women's ankle boots gives you exact details about what a person wants. Okay, to help you do SEO for fashion brands right, focus on a specific long tail keywords for your product pages to ensure you're driving the right leads to your page. Okay, and so I have an example on the right of keyword research that we conducted for a activewear clothing brand that designs clothes for tennis, golf, and pickleball. And we conducted keyword research and made a list of all the relevant keywords that we thought apply to this brand. Okay, so we were looking at activewear, and then athletic wear and athleisure, right? And so with activewear, just the keyword activewear alone, there's also so many variations, right? There's women's activewear, there's activewear for women, and then there's men's activewear, and then there's activewear dresses, girls activewear. So we started putting together list of all the relevant keywords for their brand, because they do sell also, besides women's activewear, they also have men's activewear and kids activewear. And then athletic wear, we found that wasn't really as relevant as the keyword activewear. We decided was more relevant to their brand after looking at like different competitors' websites as well, and sort of seeing, where they sit amongst their competitors. And that's why I will analyzing competitors' website is important as well, to determine whether or not you're choosing the right keywords that fit your business and for your brand. So there's just so many, like once you actually start to brainstorm ideas, you can come up with so many keywords, right? And you go maybe more general, like activewear, but then you can go and be more specific. Like once you get down to more like style specific, like they sell tennis dresses, so we're like, okay, we had a whole bunch of tennis related terms: tennis clothes, tennis dresses, tennis skirts, tennis tops. and on and on and on, right? So that's what this whole exercise is about. Like you're doing brainstorming, you're thinking of all these potential keywords. And also it's important to understand what your customers are searching for so that you're able to create good content that attracts them. One thing I also want to mention is that, go and look at your Google Search Console, because it gives you a wealth of knowledge and telling you if your website has been around for a while, I'm sure you're already ranking for some existing keywords. And so you can also, use those keywords. You don't have to start completely from scratch. You can go and look at the keywords that you're currently ranking for and perhaps go and optimize for those keywords just to help you rank higher, right? Instead of starting completely from scratch. So that's why use those tools that are free to you, and you can make a lot of really informed decisions, and it'll also be able to give you a lot of insight into your SEO strategy. Okay. Rajani is asking, so to make our website available in Google Index, is it important how many times we search at Google with the right keyword? Is it important how many times? Yeah, so I think you're asking about search volume. And so that's an important factor that we consider when we are doing keyword research. If I am understanding your question correctly, how many times that keyword is being searched on Google? Yes. That means search volume. And that's what this column here means. So we have keyword and we have volume and keyword difficulty. Like these are the three things we look at, okay, when we are doing our keyword research is the volume, which is the number of times that keyword has been searched in a month. The keyword difficulty, which is how difficult the keyword is to rank amongst your competitors, and what that intent is, right? So for an e-commerce website, if it's a product page, we're finding keywords that have like this keyword has pretty high volume. Keyword difficulties, it's not too bad, and it has a commercial intent. The ones that are higher than 70, this is pretty high. That's why we color coded all of these in red, yellow, and green. And so the green ones have low keyword difficulty. So that keyword is easier to rank for. It's less competitive than, say, a keyword like, 81 women's activewear. So we look at these when we are deciding which keywords to use. Okay, I just need to keep moving here because there's still quite a bit of information I need to get through. So after we do the keyword research, we do keyword mapping, which is about organizing and grouping similar keywords together. And then you decide which keywords will be your focus for each specific page on your site. And this step in the SEO process is important because it helps ensure that your site is optimized efficiently with each page targeting the right audience. So to do keyword mapping, you take your keywords and then you group them together by relevance, okay? And then what you want to do is sort them and organize them in a way that's like, maybe you want to put more general terms together and then more style specific terms, and then other keywords that have to do with, like, maybe depending on what customers' intent is, what they're looking for, maybe more blog related keywords, maybe more FAQ, all different things like that. So, this is a way to organize your keywords so that you can decide like which keywords you're going to put onto which pages. So then after you've done this exercise and you've grouped everything, you grouped your similar keywords together, then that's how you will be able to assign your keywords to the pages. Okay. And so you want to find the most relevant keyword for the page, and you want to ensure that each page has a unique focus keyword. Okay, so you're not cannibalizing, causing duplications. Again, like that's sort of another way of avoiding having duplications. Okay, so maybe on your homepage, maybe you want to go for a more broad general term, but maybe on your collections page, you want to maybe go more specific, right? Because if you're creating like say sustainable, eco-friendly activewear, but then you have women's activewear and then you have men's activewear, so you can place your women's activewear like on your collection pages, and so your women's collection pages, and then within the collections you have sub collections, right? So within the sub collections you can then go like women's tennis clothes, right? Women's pickleball clothes. So you can avoid all the duplications that way. Okay. And we do all this like on a spreadsheet. And so we track it all and everything. And we assign we map out the entire website pages. And then we assign focus keywords to every single page. And then we start to write all the title tags and meta descriptions that includes the keyword within it. Okay, so let's talk about on-page SEO. Okay, so after you have completed your keyword research and competitive analysis and keyword mapping, you can start to plan and implement for on-page SEO. So on-page SEO ensures that search engines can easily understand the content on your pages and then can match it with the right search query. So unlike technical SEO, which deals more with the back-end aspects like site speed, mobile friendliness, and indexing, on-page SEO deals with elements such as focus keywords, title tags, meta descriptions, headings, any kind of block text, rich text you add, and blogs, internal links, all of that. So in other words, on-page SEO is where you implement your keyword research and mapping in the form of metadata. Meta tags that are directly onto your website's like content management system. So after we do all the writing of the title tags, meta descriptions, H1 tags, we go into the website. And so if for those of you who are on Shopify, this is the area where you would go in to do it, to implement. So this is a client site we worked on, and they sell designer like the women's tennis clothes. So for this collection page for tennis, their women's tennis collection, this shows you a screenshot of a snippet of what the search page, what it looks like on Google and how it shows up. And how you do that is when you go into your Shopify site and go into the search engine listing, and then you can edit your page titles and meta descriptions. And this is where you would do it, okay, within Shopify, and then see how it shows up on Google. It shows where the title tag and the meta description is, okay. And so that's where it's important to put in those keywords. Like I think for this page specifically, like we were optimizing for women's tennis clothes. Okay, so that's why you want to make sure that your title tag and meta description has the focus keyword within it. Okay, and let's talk about image SEO. So the fashion industry relies on imagery more heavily than any other. So does SEO for fashion brands, right? So most online content is a balance of text and images, and text gets a lot of attention, but it's definitely important to have images there as well. But you got to make sure that you are optimizing your images for Google image search. So there's something called image SEO. And so by renaming your image file names and adding alt text to your images, it helps the search engines be able to understand what your image is, because search engines can't read images. They can only read text. And so by doing, renaming your file names, right? So you don't want to use something like image123.jpg. You want to specifically name your image file names to reflect the content. And you also want to modify your image alt tags, okay? And to accurately describe what that image is. And also compressing your images to reduce the load time will also help it. Okay, so let's talk about the next level, which is intermediate SEO. So your goal on level 1 was to get in the game of SEO, right? And you wanted your pages to start ranking for relevant keywords and get discovered by your target customers on search engines like Google. Now that you've laid the foundation, your goal in level 2 is to build trust and authority through content strategy and engagement. At this stage, you focus on improving your rankings, driving more organic traffic, and establishing your site as a credible source in your industry. So how do you know if your website is level 2? If your site has been around for a while and you've done some SEO and you're getting some traffic, but not enough to make a significant impact, you're likely at level 2. And this means your site is ranking for some keywords, but you need to build on that in order to position your brand as the go-to site worth rewarding with top page rankings and SERPs, okay? So what are the best practices? That include at level 2, that would be having a blog content strategy, internal linking and topic clusters, creating high quality blogs, and link building, okay, which is an off-page SEO strategy. So you want to start to think about your content strategy at this level, okay? And a blog content strategy involves creating a data-informed plan for the topics and keywords and types of content that you'll publish on your blog. So instead of just creating content for the sake of creating content, the strategy is about ensuring that every piece of content that you create aligns with your overall SEO goals and targets the right audience, okay? So the objective of a blog content strategy is to build authority, drive organic traffic, and engage your audience by consistently publishing valuable content that addresses their needs and interests. And this involves identifying relevant topics, conducting keyword research, and creating a calendar that keeps your blog active and aligned with your business goals. Okay, so I mean, for those who know me, probably know how I always keep saying, it's important to have a blog on your site because that's where content lives and stays on your site more permanent, right? Than say a product page would, especially for e-commerce. Like if you're updating your products all the time and it's changing, it's hard to keep those rankings if your pages are not there. So by creating a blog content strategy, you're essentially creating evergreen content that lives on your site permanently, that will not go away. And that way you can start to build this traffic on your site over time, okay? And I can totally dive deep into this whole thing about content strategies. This is another webinar in itself, but you need to start to think about this in terms of like the type of content you want to create. And within it, this is kind of why I call this level 2. It's because you need to start thinking in terms of how the content is all related to each other. And that so you can create an internal linking topic clusters that center around a main topic and building other subtopics around it and creating internal links that feed into each other, okay? This helps to strengthen your page's ability to rank over time, okay? And so speaking about, high quality blogs, SEO help bring in traffic, and it helps you build your brand without relying on paid ads. But the one common mistake is that businesses make is that they don't put out enough quality content, right? So creating a fashion blog is a great way to get started in SEO for fashion brands. You'll drive organic traffic to your website, boost your rankings. And as a result, more people will discover your brand and you'll bring in more sales. This is a great opportunity to link content with your social media accounts, create share-worthy content, and boost your latest post your latest blogs on social media. And if you have an e-letter, share it with your email list as well. Okay. And so, blogs are important. It helps you increase organic traffic. It builds brand awareness, helps customers, discover your brand. So really at the top of funnel, the discovery stage. And through this, you help the reader, bring them through the journey, right? In order to know, like, and trust your brand as well, which will ultimately help you to sell your products, because it will help turn your readers into customers. And also another benefit is that blogs can also help you earn backlinks as well when people start to share your content, but it needs to be valuable enough for them to want to share. So really important is to think of quality over quantity. Another important factor is link building. And so building backlinks is the process of getting links from other websites to your website. Okay. And that's important because it helps search engines to build your trust and authority, right? So links from one website to another is often seen as a vote of confidence, trust, and authority. And this increased authority can mean higher rankings on search engines. And thus it grants your website more visibility and likely much more organic traffic. Okay. I know I'm throwing a lot of information at you, and so this is kind of why I just want to touch on level 3 advanced SEO, just so that you are aware of what happens now, because oftentimes there's this misconception that people think that, well, SEO is just this one and done job, right? And so what happens, once you've done everything from level 1 and level 2. So level 3 is what I call is advanced SEO. And that is continuous improvement. Okay. So now that you've done all this work, you want to keep the momentum going. Okay. And so what are the SEO best practices at level 3? That involves, reviewing and analyzing your performance and seeing what is working and what's not working. Okay. How do you know if your website is at a level 3? So if your site is already ranking well for many of your target keywords, you're getting consistent traffic, and you have a solid content and link building strategy in place, then you are most likely at level 3. This means that you're looking to refine your approach, keep up the algorithm changes, and push your site's performance even further. Okay, so when I work with a client long term, we reach this level, we go back and we go and do analysis and review what is performing, and then we decide what can we do to help give this page as a boost. How can we get the rankings higher? Can we update some content? How do we appeal to the latest algorithm changes? All these factors we need to consider in order to keep things going, so that content doesn't go stale and that you potentially could lose your rankings over time if you just kind of leave it. Okay. I know we're running short on time and I'm almost done, so thank you all for bearing with me. through all of this. But the final thing I want to leave with you here is, after you've made a huge progress, you've made it this far, right? And you've made significant progress on your SEO journey. You need to keep that momentum going. But as I said earlier, so at this level, you need to monitor your analytics and to determine your efforts and what's working and whether you need to adjust your digital marketing strategy. So I just put a list together of some of the analytics that you should be checking regularly, okay? And so that includes your organic traffic. How much organic traffic are you getting to the site every month? Is it increasing? What are the keywords that you're ranking for? And keyword, making sure that your keywords are relevant, right, for your business and brand. Knowing what your click-through rates are, and that's sort of the activity that are taking place on your website, right? How long are people staying on your site? What are your conversion rates? Because getting traffic to the site is one thing, but then making sales and converting them is another thing, right? I like to say that it's like a 3-step process. It's like, first you gotta get them to your site, then you need to keep them on the site and interested enough to take action, right? So either make a purchase or sign up for your email list or do something, right? So those are the things that you need to keep in mind. I just want to show you quickly a case study for a client. So this was the tennis, golf, and pickleball clothing company that I was talking about earlier. And so their goal was to increase traffic and revenue. Okay, so over 6 months' time, we started pretty much a website from scratch. They had just relaunched in January, and that's when they had reached out to us for help with their SEO. And, at that time, they were not ranking for any relevant keywords, really. So we started with, doing keyword research, went through the whole exercise of, identifying relevant keywords to their niche and their business, with the goal of being able to rank on page 1 and get them more traffic and customers, right? So we looked through all of their product categories and their individual product listings, and then to cover all the relevant keywords they could rank for. And we checked the search volumes and competition levels for those terms. And then we did keyword mapping to sort keywords into logical categories. And then we assigned one primary focus keyword for every URL page on the website. Then we optimized for on-page SEO. And so we optimized, we keyword optimized the content for SEO. And that included, optimizing content for search engines, creating SEO-friendly URLs, writing compelling and click-worthy titles, increasing keyword density, and integrating keywords into their content. So after about 3 months or so, we started to see an uptake in their organic keywords and organic traffic. And this graph shows you so we started in January, and by April, the time period between April and June, you see that they've increased their organic keywords by over 639%. We were able to increase their organic traffic by 130%, and they had an increase in revenue just from SEO, so just from search channel, by 86%, which equals to a SEO ROI of 341%. And this was a site that we started completely from scratch, and at this time frame now, they rank for over 1,000 keywords. that are there's many high volume keywords as well. And so I think, yeah, the last time I checked now, the organic search traffic is like the highest traffic channel right now for this brand. Okay, so congrats, you completed the full overview of SEO. And so as you can see, SEO is not a one and done deal. It's an ongoing process that grows with your business, whether you're just starting out or refining an established strategy. Applying the right practices at each level will bring long-term success. Okay, and while choosing to ignore those best practices, it could hurt your online visibility and credibility. So get in the game and stay ahead of competition by building a strong foundation, boosting your site's authority, and analyzing your performance, and keep improving your strategy. And remember, SEO isn't just about climbing the ranks, it's about attracting, engaging, and converting the right audience so your business can thrive. Okay, so keep learning, adapting, and fine-tuning your approach to see results that last. Before we get to questions, I'd love to get your feedback. Was this webinar helpful? Please let me know in the chat. I'd love to get your feedback. Let me know if this webinar was helpful, and if you can please comment. Let me know, one key takeaway that you learned today. It would just be so extremely helpful for me when I do future webinars. Just to know, what information you found helpful, what would you like to learn more about in future webinars. Thank you. I'm just gonna take a quick screenshot of that. So, thank you. Yes. I'm so happy that everyone says yes. Yes, thank you. Paid advertising would be great. Yeah, okay. Layering of stages, showing where to start with the most result and then next steps. Liz, did you find the stages, like showing where to start and the next steps, was that helpful to you? Or did you need more, did you need me to explain more on how the stages kind of how the progression works and okay. Just a minute. So thank you so much for taking this time to watch the presentation today on how to use SEO for fashion e-commerce. And I really hope that you found this presentation to be helpful, and now you have a better understanding of how you can make SEO work for your business. And just remember that SEO takes time and patience, but by taking consistent action, your efforts will compound over time, and you'll see it pay off. So prioritize sustainability over speed. Through it, you'll see your keyword rankings or organic traffic increase. Like I have seen it and I've done it for many of my clients. And if you're ready for an expert to help you so you don't have to do all this work yourself, I encourage you to book a free 30-minute call with me. My booking link, you see my Calendly link right there, is on the slide presentation. My contact information is here. So my website is glynistao.com. My Instagram account is at glynistao, and You can always email me at hello@glynnestao.com. Thank you so much again for joining me here today.